Okay, now we are going to start. Me and
Okay,
Henrietta,
Anna, go ahead.
We are both German volunteers, and today we want to talk about intercultural communication and how intercultural communication can lead to a peaceful coexistence. So, this is our agenda for today. We are going to talk about the question, what is culture in general? And we are going to talk about interculturality and about the question what intercultural communication is. And we will then talk about the challenges of it, and we will also give you some tips on how to manage this successfully. So my first question to you is, what is culture for you and how would you define culture?
I think it's something common through the society. Habits.
والله سؤالك محرج كثير. Your question is really a big question. I have read a book named The Collision of Between Civilizations. And there's an expression about culture and another expression, civilization. Maybe culture has the same meaning in such a thing, because culture of any society, even a micro society, is all the materialistic and the non-materialistic, what can I say, things or uses or whatever that the society lives with, or they are existing in the society. Maybe this, whatever, either vocal, either traditions, either religion, either sciences, either habits, and the materialistic things also. That's it, maybe.
Yeah, interesting. Right. Any other? Yeah. Go ahead.
Culture, in a simple way, from my side opinion, is well-known with the people in a place, their home country or something that are familiar with, that they act upon it, and they try to put it in a spot that when maybe visitors are coming to visit them or something. So it's something that people love to show. It's their culture, the way that they think, the way that they live, you know? Yeah.
Go ahead. For me, culture is whatever or the result of what society or a group of people in a geographic area achieve and like to use as a guide in their life.
The culture from my side is like habits or the way of thinking, the mentality things, but all of them the result of how we live on the place or something like that. To view the mentality or the culture or something like that to other people from outside the region.
The identity that the people create the nodes or like in the activities they do together. So I think it's related to the creation that they establish together because they live for a long time together. So it's the main how the connection between them and the results from the action and reaction.
I guess it's a group of practices. Society, people in the society practice, whether it's logical, silly, stupid, smart, all it differs from one culture to another. might be fun to me, it's reasonable to you, or whatever.
Can I add? Sorry, no. It's like also the notes that sometimes we have the good and the bad things, so it's exactly like as you see, the notes that we have in our notes.
And there's culture on society level, as everyone mentioned, but there is also like on a macro level, like family. Every family has their own culture. So it can be very subjective. Like, for example, my family have certain cultures. When I have my own family, maybe I will not adapt them and I will introduce new cultural traditions. So I create a new kind of culture for my own family.
So we somehow agree that culture is something we like to present to others.
Yeah. Not always, because every culture has its bad side. So if I think about my culture, where my parents are from, there are definitely things I don't agree with and I don't present.
So there is any culture and
I think it's not just about like story or like just for example, it's about like lifestyle that we have together and we live.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we prepared a little input, and I will start with a classic quotation from Edward Tyler from 1871, and he said, "Culture is that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, moral, law, custom, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by man as a member of society." So what he's saying is that it's a social construction of reality, as we all agreed already on, and it's a system of concepts and beliefs and attitudes and values and also norms, like you said, and actions of humans, and they can be visible, for example, in material products like arts or paintings. And also in spiritual ideas and products like ideas and the way people think. So what's also important is that culture is not limited only to national or ethnic groups, but it also exists within subcultural groups, like, for instance, gender groups or religious groups. They have their own culture. And it influences also behavior and communication and thought patterns and interactions and the way how people talk to each other. And in general, one can define 4 areas of culture, like the feeling, behavior, communication, and thinking. That's all stuff we learned through our socialization. We grew up, learning how to act in certain situations. We learn how to think about different things. And like I already mentioned, there are also 2 dimensions, which you can see here. Like we have the material dimensions, like media, books, laws, paintings, like art. That differs from culture to culture. Every culture has their own ideas and laws, for example, as well. And in the social dimension, that's the concrete interaction in groups and societies. So my next question for you is, what is then interculturality? Have you heard about this concept before? And where can you find it?
In Erasmus program.
When someone gets married, like intercultural couples, like someone from Germany and so, like this is for intercultural. Let two cultures clashing, coming together, forming a new culture.
I mean, you said Erasmus project, so like exchange programs for like young people or like any people from different countries or cultures come together and exchange, like tell each other about their culture, learn from each other. And you see like the similarities, but maybe also like what's different.
And so like they really the idea that we always see from the like media, because a lot of like examples happen to me when I met friends from like Europe, and they think a lot of different things about Jordan because just based on like they see in the media. So it's really like make it like clear the image for all the people when they meet together, and it's fantastic.
Okay.
I think that, may I add something? Interculturality is nowadays is cosmopolitan. Wherever you go, you have many people from different cultures living together or coming in action together. For example, trading, for example, intermarriages, whatever new relations can build between different societies is merely in interculturality. It reflects some sort of interculturality.
I think like in migration nations, like nations where there are a lot of migration happens, for example, in Germany, we have like this problem, no, it's not a problem, interculturality, sorry, but this challenge of interculturality. And I think even like in MENA regions, like in Jordan, we have a lot of refugees from Syria and Iraq and Palestine, and also there intercultural clashes can happen, even though all are apparently Arabs, but not all Arabs are same.
I think intercultural understanding in any interaction between people from different backgrounds, from different ethnic groups, or even countries. It's like the dealing or the relationship or the interaction between different cultures or intercultural.
Yes. So we tried to make like kind of a little picture. So that's exactly what you said. We have a foreign culture like here and our own culture. And the moment those two cultures start interacting with one another, there's a cultural overlap, which is called interculturality. And this includes dynamic and evolving relationships between groups. Yeah, so it's the relationship between two or more different cultures. We have now provided like a little video for you on this topic, but I will show it to you on YouTube because it's not really working here. So just a moment. And I will start it, and you can maybe just put something in the chat or somehow tell us if you can hear it or not.
Dein Ton aufgeteilt?
Mein Ton?
Ja.
Bei der Bildschirmteil.
Okay.
Schließen.
Moment.
You need to share the.
Wo mache ich das genau? Bei Freigabe?
Nee. Sollte die Freigabe beenden?
Ja.
Ja, du musst Freigabe stoppen. Wenn du jetzt auf Bildschirmteil gehst. Musst du hier Ton freigeben.
Ton freigeben.
Dann aufdrehen.
Okay. Now it should work.
It's a big world, full of difference and diversity. How you see others is influenced by your own cultural perspective, and how others see you is influenced by their cultural perspective. What happens when you speak? Do people from other cultures understand you in the way you intended? And what happens with different cultures in the workplace? How rigid or flexible is their approach to rules? Is formal or informal behaviour expected? And how do different cultures approach timekeeping? In today's global business environment, it is essential to learn how to navigate across different cultural landscapes. You need a good set of tools to do this. You need an understanding of how different cultures trade and do business, an insight into how different cultures communicate, and a clear idea of how different cultures manage people. To be a savvy global traveller, you need to be willing to undertake the journey of understanding other cultures. Develop cultural intelligence so you can communicate confidently across cultures.
Okay, so we have now seen the video, and in conclusion, intercultural communication refers to, like we just see, the communication between people from two or more cultures. And it's also an exchange of information, ideas, expression between individuals and groups. And it's also a symbolic, interpretive, contextual process in which people from different cultures create shared values and shared meanings. So, next thing we want to talk about are challenges. So what are challenges of intercultural communication, and what are your experiences? Because we have already seen why it is important in this video, because we are living in a globalized world. So yeah, maybe you want to share your experience with us.
Language can be a bit difficult when you come to an intercultural thing. Like, people from different cultures have different languages. You can speak about this class, you can't understand new language. So yeah, language can be a bit.
I think the stereotypes and the prejudice. So some people think about, for example, Muslims, they should be treated differently. You know, these things, the stereotypes. Like, we hosted some Europeans last June, and somebody said, I didn't expect this in Jordan. I expect that I cannot walk in the street, I didn't do this. Even they are exposed to different countries, but still, regarding the Middle East, there is still a lot of stereotypes.
For me, I think maybe the climate also is a factor, because some society may be living same our temperature, but in the North Pole, they live in horrible situation for us.
I think gesture, like coming here to Jordan, I've seen like people doing like this, and I was like, what does it mean?
I would like, yeah, I might say something about this. Yes, I myself, I had experienced many, what you can say, cultural differences. For example, wherever you go, because I studied in Germany, there is nothing called bargaining at all. The price is fixed. You would like to buy or not, it's up to you. But here in the Arab world, you have to bargain. That's usual. Otherwise, because if you don't bargain, sometimes even if you bargain and you get good price, you are cheated also. And this is this happens not in the malls or big shops, but in the streets. One day as I was passing Jam' al-Husseini, middle Amman, I was a student in the University of Jordan. I wanted to buy a blanket. I asked the seller, who had many blankets, in the street. He sells blankets in the street, and I said to him, "How many costs one blanket?" He said 10 GDs. That was many years ago. I said 2 GDs, okay? He said, okay, get from 10. He suddenly went down to 2, and so I put it. I didn't buy, because to go down 8 GDs suddenly, that's too much. So I said to myself, maybe one only. That's it. I mean, this is one example, bargaining. Other examples, the respect of the other opinion. In the Arab world, I'm speaking about people around me here in this area. I mean, area in Middle East. It is hard to accept the other opinion if the other opinion is different from yours. As I was studying or learning German in the Goethe Institute, there was a girl from Burma, or what's now called Myanmar, and she was talking about Buddha. She said that her mother had visited the grave of, or the tomb of Buddha, and she couldn't open her eyes because the bones of Buddha were shining very much, that she couldn't see them. I myself, I laughed and said, oh, the bones and they are shining so vigorous. And she said, you don't believe me? You don't matter. And it was, so from that time, I learned that if anybody says to you that the ice is black, this is his belief. You have to respect his opinion and to behave good to him in spite of what he is believing. That's another one. Okay. And if you would like to, I go through many. You may cover. I saw some they laid naked on the grass at under the sun. This is for me, coming from Middle East. This is so strange. And as I asked my friend who lived before there, he said this is what they call sun shower. I myself said, okay, what is this? Such a thing is not available by us. Anyhow, this is a cultural shock, and there are many. Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, yeah, I was saying I was teaching in Indian schools, and whenever my students say something right, I did like this, and they were like, okay, they were very confused when I did this. Even though I'm Indian, I didn't know that when you do this, it means 6, the number 6, because they count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And whenever I say this, because I wanted to say thumbs up, very good, with the left hand, No, because it's the left hand, and 6 and 1 is here, and 6 is here. They were always like confused. Why is he showing us 6? Yes, it's like gesture has so much meaning in language.
From my side, maybe from one challenge, the first impression for the other culture. If I met somebody from other culture, I have to respect from the beginning till I listen what his opinion, what his culture exactly, but I cannot judge him from the first impression, from the first look.
Okay. So, yeah, when different cultures meet, the encounter can cause many conflicts, as we already heard some also in the examples. So, what we heard is that primarily intercultural problems are language related. And that's obvious because different people speak different languages, and that's sometimes different. And yeah, we often encounter this issue even with people who speak the same language. Like me and Henriette, we both speak German, and still it can happen that we don't understand each other because, yeah. Yeah, right.
You have access.
Yeah.
In Jordan, we have like different body language, even if you speak Arabic, with the body language you get confused because you can say, I'm happy when you are not happy. You can say, Inshallah, in 5 weeks. And the most one, it will never happen. So, what is I'm saying?
And then we also heard something about cultural affiliation. So if the other cultural affiliation is not immediately recognizable through, for example, appearance or language, that can cause also like problems because we see the other person as something different. And we sometimes tend to differentiate ourselves from what is different to us. And yeah, that's also why people from different cultures want to differentiate themselves from each other to perceive their own cultural identity. Sometimes people are scared to lose their own cultural identity while interacting with someone who has totally different opinions on norms, for example, or values. But there are also more challenges, like we also heard from you, like nonverbal communication, like gesture, facial expression, body language, that can vary significantly across cultures, and that can also lead to unintended messages. Or the way people talk, are they being direct or are they being indirect? Or also the perception of time, like different cultures have varying attitudes towards punctuality and time management, and that can also lead to conflicts over like timelines. And I have some examples for you. For example, the thumbs up is not only 6 like in, you said, India. Like it can also, for like example, like in Iran, that's offensive even. And in Western cultures, that means like perfect. So yeah, or eye contact. The level of eye contact considered appropriate varies also widely. Like in Western cultures, for example, if you stare someone right in the eyes while talking, that is, conducted with honesty. But it can also be seen as disrespectful in other cultures. Or
how is that in Jordan?
Yeah, how's that?
Both ways. Sometimes if you yes, if you have a good relationship, you can look in the eye more. But if there is like somebody who's more senior in business or in ranking, social ranking, then you is more important.
Guys, in the meeting room, we are not hearing you well. Please.
You turn on your like.
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me? Omar. Doctor.
Yes,
أيوة.
now I hear you. Yes, yes,
الآن
now I hear you.
الآن نعم يا
Okay. Sometimes I said in our culture in Jordan, sometimes you dare to look directly or stare in the other person who you talk to in case you have a good relation or similar or same social class. but sometimes you find it's rude to look in the eye for someone who's more senior than you, whether by age or by social or business class.
So where do you look then?
You need to steal the look like this and show that you are respecting. Yes, sure, respect.
Most important question, how is it between men and women? I'm still not like say.
It depends on the degree of love.
How?
Yes.
That's something strange.
So the more love.
As he said, as he said, if you looks like still the looks, it means the different way, depend of the face emotion, how to look to the people.
Yes, for example, when you talk to a strange woman, she keep looking in the floor.
Yes.
Sometimes she's more shy than in Western. If you speak to somebody you don't know, sometimes the ladies or the females look on the ground and up and.
But I know many Muslim men who also look on the floor. It's also.
Yes, it is.
Come on.
It depends. It depends. It's very complicated, our culture. Don't learn from it.
Hello.
It's your modesty. If you like, if you want to keep like a modest distance to someone, you kind of like on the floor or just look at the upper body and try to do the life. I don't know. It's like that.
عمر الميكروفون.
I'm different message, depending if she's angry or no.
Yeah.
Angry or no. Angry. I'm just.
ارفع ايدك يا عمر ارفع.
Okay, Dr. Omar, Dr. Omar. Yes, Dr. Omar. غرد.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
يا هلا.
It's good to be part of this very fruitful discussion about intercultural issues. I want to add something in this subject, which is first, there is, in my opinion, there is two kind of intercultural reason, let me say. The first one, which comes by a very peaceful way, which is, you know, now these days, because of the communication tools and social media, and because it's easy to move from country to another country for different reasons, like going to study in other country or doing some businesses there. So this is why the intercultural things coming easy and faster than before. The second one, if we back to the history, maybe thousands of years, it happens because of the wars, because of colonialisms. You know, when it's happened, one country have a war with another country and defeated this country and occupied this country. So many cultural issues come between, because the two parties will learn about each other, about the language, about the habits, the traditions, the food, the music, about everything. So these are, I think these are two reasons for the intercultural things. I like to talk about my experience in this issue to, let's say, to increase the intercultural things between different cultures in this world by having cultural exchange programs between Jordan and other countries. These programs help a lot of people to understand each other better than what they hear through the media or what they read through the books, because they come and have the chance to live the same life of other cultures, so they will be introduced to many cultural things. at the end, in our religion, in Islam, Islam urge us as Muslims to contact others and to build relationship with others. Let me read something from our holy book, Quran. It's يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. So God tell us that He create us, all the people, and He talk to us as Muslims and urge us to contact other people from other nations and build relationship with them, because it's for the benefit of the human being everywhere. So this is part of the religion. We have to remember that the heart of the religion urge people to interact and to be in a good relation with each other and to have the chance to understand each other and to deal with each other on different levels. Thank you.
والله بدي أحكي بس شغلة حصلت عن الانتركلتشرال حتى في داخل نفس المجتمع. في معانا بيشتغل sorry, I have to speak in English, huh? Okay. With us is a Bedouin working with us, and he got a child. He named him Wissam. One of my friends said, no, that is does not function. يعني بيطلع لكش. Either متعب or زعل or عقلة, but Wissam, that's too much. أنت يعني بدك نط من قاعد قف لدينيها، يعني ما بصير، يعني مهلا عليك في التسمية يعني. فيعني حتى في داخل within the same society there are cultural differences or intercultural differences between people. طبعا this is just a joke, but it happened. It is a reality. يعني that's it. Like اللي عبد العال أم السحر، يعني هذا شيء doesn't function يعني. فهذا اللي صار. وطبعا going to other societies have interaction with many people from different cultures. This polishes your culture and this makes you more tolerant to the other, to accept other cultures, whatever they are. You have to accept them as they are. This is inevitable. If you would like to live good with them and to be good to them, you have to accept what they believe, what they act, how they act, and this, their rituals, their habits, you have to respect them. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, there is one other person who wants to say one. Yes, please.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
أيوة يا عثمان، تكلم يا عثمان.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام.
Yeah, so I'm gonna speak in English. I don't speak Arabic. I am calling from Nigeria, northern part of Nigeria to be precise. And as you may know, northern part of Nigeria is predominantly Muslims, with Islamic culture. Though we also have our own culture. The primary language in northern Nigeria is actually Hausa language, which happens to be one of the second most popular spoken language in West Africa and other African countries west of the Sahara. So we're talking about culture, and I also appreciate and like what the last speaker said about, mixing and intermingling with other cultures and other tribes, because as he said, it polishes one culture and also sense of responsibility. I quite agree with that. That's actually very true. So when I look at the slide on the screen, I saw something that caught my attention actually. Thumbs up and eye contact. So in my own culture, here, that's the Hausa culture, eye contact is actually not the same thing with what other tribes or other countries or other um, maybe ethnic groups perceives. I mean, in our own culture, eye contact is actually seen as disrespectful, unlike in the European culture, that when an elder is talking to a younger, talking to a younger one, they always, the younger ones always look at the is forbidden, is like a kind of sign of disrespect for a child or a younger one to look at, an elderly person that is talking to him directly into his or her eyes. That is actually a sign of disrespect. So in my culture, if an elder is talking to a younger one, or if a father or a mother is talking to his son or his daughter, or her son or her daughter, the daughter or the son should not be looking, directly into the eyes of the elder, because once he or she does that, that would mean disrespect, and all of that. So we have different, cultures and all of that. But I think the very best is when one, travels, mixed with other tribes, see how, other tribes are conducting, I mean, their own culture and all of that. You will actually learn more a lot from, that culture. And the statement, the Quranic verse that was quoted by also one of the speaker, yeah, that's actually the teaching of the Holy Quran. The God has created us in different tribes, and different races, for us to know one another and to live peacefully, and all of that. Terms of is actually not found anywhere in my culture, because it's not part of the culture. It's something that came to us. It's an alien, culture or behavior in my own culture actually, because you cannot, if an elder is, for example, talking to you, and you happen to be, appreciate that speech of an elder, you cannot just raise your hand and thumbs him up and say, well, thumbs up. That will also signifies disrespect, in a way, unless if that person is maybe an educated person, or has gone to, acquired Western education, and all of that. But in our rural areas, rural villages, with our rural people, they don't even know what thumbs up is. So that's just the contribution that I want to make. It's really an interesting discussion, and I hope it will continue. Thank you very much, and that's my submission.
Thank you very much. Yes.
طارق خليه يحكي.
Yes, good evening, everyone, and it's a big pleasure to.
Tariq?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, go.
Yes, good evening, everyone. It's my big pleasure to join
Speak, Tariq,
You can talk, yeah.
It's my big pleasure to join you today at the cafe. And it's an interesting topic that you are already raising today. It's also, I'm happy to see all different friends and colleagues from different places. I have two examples that I wanted to share with you. One of the, the examples is when I already
Okay,
studied.
I continue with some more examples. For example, also cultural norms, we heard about that. So norms regarding personal space, touch, greetings, that can differ, causing also discomfort or misunderstandings. Or assumptions and stereotypes, as Mahmoud said earlier, that is a problem because preconceived notions and stereotypes about other cultures can lead to misjudgments and bias in communication.
Anna,
and that's why
Anna,
it's really important to be sensitive. Because a lack of awareness and sensitivity to cultural differences can result in unintentional insensitivities. And I have also some examples for you.
Anna, let me say something.
A handshake in Western cultures, a firm handshake is common.
Anna, what are you doing, Anna? Anna,
we have to
يا
shake,
مأمون هلا ترد علينا يا مأمون.
So that shows the other person who are self-confident. But in other countries,
ترد علينا شوية يا
might not be
مأمون.
a good idea. And also physical contact, like hugging,
ترد علينا يا مأمون.
yeah, that can also differ.
Anna.
And now I made like a stereotype.
هذه من مرة. أنا.
For example, there is that Germans are extremely punctual and value efficiency.
Anna Maria.
They are being very organized.
Anna
They
Maria.
eat a lot of pretzels and they drink a lot of beer. They wear yellow sandals. And they are direct and they hate small talk. And of course, that is not true. Like, for example, me, I don't even own a dirndl, I don't drink beer, and I don't hate small talk. And I am sometimes really late to the party, so.
لازم تسمع أنا.
We want now to talk with you about concrete experiences with intercultural misunderstandings or miscommunications.
لا هذه في وقت واحنا في وقت.
Like ideas or stories to
يا عمي هي
share.
بتسمعناش يا مأمون.
Maybe you've made some experiences.
Hello, Anna, can you hear us?
With that.
Anna, you hear us? Anna, you hear us? Anna Maria, you hear us?
Cannot hear you.
Anna Maria, you hear us? علي الحرام هي سمعتنا ولا أبدا بتحكي لحالها. يا عمر خليك معاي قولها وقفي شوي.
مأمون
وقفها سام قولها شو بتحكي انت؟
مأمون.
Now we hear you. I'm sorry.
Anna, you hear us?
Yes, we hear you. You can talk.
You hear us when Tariq was talking and you interrupted him in the middle of his talk. And I said, Anna, 100 times and you didn't answer me. Why? You are just only walking alone and this does not function in this way.
We haven't heard
his talk and you interrupted him. Oh, ولا أبدا ولا هي عنا ولا هي سمعتنا. طب على الحرام ما هي سمعتني هسه. You hear me, Anna? No. طيب وليش؟ Why
we hear you now. We hear you now. There was a problem with our speaker.
You hear me when you hear me when you want to hear, but when you don't want to hear, you don't hear. 100 times I say Anna. Tariq was in the middle of his talk and you interrupted him. We didn't understand what he wants to say. Why? Why you ran so quickly and leave us behind?
I am very, very sorry. Our speaker did not work.
ولا راح تجاوب. لا في خلل. مش صحيح الاثنين. It's not good. Okay. مرة جاي يكون لازم يكون الشيء أحسن هيك ما بمشي.
Can you hear right now? Does your speaker work right now? Okay, so like it seems there was a misunderstanding or like there was something that you did not hear. So first of all, it's my pleasure to join everyone in the cafe today. And I was about to say 2 examples. I started talking, but it seems that you did not hear in the room. That's why the other colleagues who was on Zoom heard what I was saying. So they thought that there was 2 different locations. So I had 2 examples from my life about like the communication and like the differences that we have in it. First thing was when I traveled to Yemen, and like in Arab countries, you may like the ones who speak Arabic understand that if you say to someone mashi in Arabic, it means okay. So if someone asks you, what do you think about doing this tomorrow? If you say mashi, this means okay, we will do it tomorrow. So when I was in Yemen, somebody told me like this, and I said mashi. In Yemen, mashi means no, and it's a refusal of doing something. So when I was like there talking with a professor, and we agreed about a meeting in the next day, when I said mashi, he thought that I was saying no, so he canceled the meeting. So this was in the same Arabic word, a misinterpretation and totally the opposite meaning of the word. The second one was also when I traveled to do my master studies in Greece. And when I was there in Greece, like, most of the good words that are used in the Greek language, they have already the opposite meaning in Arabic. So if you say to somebody a word in Greek, it's a cursing in Arabic, or it's a bad word in Arabic. So most of the time, it's not only also the gesture or like, the eye contact, or even like, sometimes moving thumbs and so on, but sometimes even the words itself in the same languages or in similar languages, they have many similarities. This is what I just wanted to share from like, examples, and I'm happy to listen to everyone. It's an interesting topic and interesting points in it. Thank you.
Thank you
شكرا يا
very much.
طارق. معلش سؤال صغير، انت بعدك محلات؟ الله بالراحة.
Just ask him what is working if something goes not this. So, and I can share some experiences. Yes.
معلش أشارك بشيء بسيط.
Yes, I want to share something. You hear me, Oswald?
احكي.
I was giving a training course in Sudan, and I was asking them every time when I ask them, come in after break, yalla نبلش. This means let's begin. For them, let's finish. Totally.
Well, I would like to share one thing. As I was in Syria, and I wanted to go to Busra, which is where you have ruins. I took the bus from Der'a to Busra Sham, and in the way, there was a woman wanted to step down from the bus, and she knocked, or she said, knocked on the metal, so as the driver should hear her, and I said to the driver louder, because I was new in that country, that region. The woman wants to step down, but in Arabic, واحنا عندنا في الأردن عادي وفي فلسطين المرأة بدها تطيح. All people, they were astonished, and they gazed on my face, and they, what are you saying? Up. I said, some old man here, or an old man, he said, from where you are? I said, I am from Jordan, coming here. He said, okay, تاخذهوش, come here. And whisper to me, don't say Mara bidhatih. Never, ever. This is something shameful by us. I said to him, this is normal by us. Not that it means it wants to step down. So in the same region, even the word has double meaning, one good and one bad. Some people use it like this, some people use it like that. So this is one of my experiences. So you have to be careful in choosing the word and speak only what you may say High Arabic. I with my friends from Jordan and from Palestine, we went in Tunisia, we went in the cinema to watch a Tunisian film. After 5 minutes, we left because we didn't understand what they are talking, in spite of it's Arabic, but it is Tunisian Arabic, because they were speaking dialect and not High Arabic. So we didn't understand, and we all left out. But if, you know, we are used to hear Egyptian or Middle East language, that's it. Okay, this is two experiences. If anybody has more, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, can I say something now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm not Arabic. Like I said, I'm from Nigeria, northern part of Nigeria, but we have quite number of people that are speaking Arabic here in Nigeria, particularly in northern Nigeria. You know, when you look at it, like the Quranic recitation competition, you see that Nigeria, you know, always, you know, try, you know, our best to see that we come first. And we had times to, you know, won the Quranic recitation. But let me cite this example or narrate this story. I don't know if amongst you there's anyone that has visited Nigeria before. So as a Nigerian, as somebody that does not speak Arabic, I came across, I left with, had time to, you know, I spent some time with somebody from Sudan and also somebody from Egypt. So, and I wanted to learn Arabic language from them. So, I said, let me use the opportunity to learn Arabic language. And the guy from Sudan, do you want to go home? For example, he said, Mashwe. And then when I asked the other person from Egypt, he said, Aina Matashab. Aina Matashab. While the other one was saying, you know, so that was when I, begin to understand that Arabic language is actually of different types. The Sudan Arabic is different from that of Egyptian Arabic. And I became actually discouraged, somehow confused. And that's how I ended up not learning, the Arabic language. So two different Arabics, when you ask any one of them, you will tell you that I speak Arabic. So it was later that I realized, or I discovered that the Arabic in Sudan is actually like a kind of a broken Arabic, not like a real Arabic. So I then understand that Arabic language are of different types. You go to Saudi Arabia, you hear like the strong Arabic. You go to Sudan, you have another type of Arabic. You go to Egypt, you have another type of Arabic, and you go to perhaps places like Jordan, Oman, and then they also have their own dialect. That's just the experience I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And how can intercultural communication be successful? Do you may have some ideas how to approach such a situation?
I think the main problem with something, raise my hand, please speak into the.
I think the main problem with like intercultural communication and difficulties in intercultural communication starts when one thinks that her or his culture is superior than the other culture. So in order to have a successful intercultural communication, you have to see the other culture as equal and as another approach of living a life. It might not resonate with how you live and how you have your traditions and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. But kind of like just appreciating that there is someone who has another approach to life and don't go into these power dynamics. So my culture is superior than yours, and yeah, probably.
I think it's also by creating the opportunities for the people to meet together in the safe space that they can express about their like culture and say their opinion, but at the same time they can feel they are safe because they can share it. Even the others they will not accept, or maybe they don't like it, but because they are in a safe space, so they can't do any like bad action to them. So with time it will be like common thing for them, so they will accept and maybe they will change their ideas and stereotype about the others.
How do you create a safe space like in a culture? For example, you come into another culture and you can't like make sure that there is a safe space for your culture, you know what I mean?
I mean like really it's about like when we go for training or when we go like with organizations that they provide it and they have like approval, or we say like contract that this is for training, so you need to accept and respect all the people here. So even if they don't like, they were not sure, but I think with times they will start to change their mind, because I'm talking from my experience, because even me, like I never traveled like abroad since until I was like 21. After that, my mindset became completely different, because I started meeting the people, like traveling around and meet the others and discover more about the other cultures. So with time and with experience, in my opinion, the trainings is really the like safe space for especially the youth.
Erasmus,
Yes, Erasmus for me, it's really changed my life. So I think it's really like safe space, especially for youth. So they are under control and under like protection from like organizations. Yes.
Can I add, please? So basically, if we stop judging at the first point and we started to look at the things from another angle, maybe from the speaker's angle of point of view, maybe we can reach something useful for both sides. Like if two are talking about something like a project or maybe a lifestyle or something, the first thing they must stop judging, and then they must hear, and then they must adopt the idea. Like I will look at it from your side, like you will do also the same for me, because I'm talking from a background of knowledge that I lived in, and you also are doing the same. So yeah.
Can I add, like, to complete about what he said, it's exactly what in the trainings that we provide for the youth. This is the tools that let's make this training as a team, and let's discover what we see about this, like things from my side, from your side, and then we put like different things and they will discover. So if I take this training and then I make like peer-to-peer training and I transfer the knowledge from abroad to my like siblings or to the people around me, they maybe in the beginning it will be hard for them to accept, but with time they will learn and they will. So the experience itself, it's like help them to change and to look to the things from a different angles.
May I say something, Laura? Laura, you speak German, am I right? Okay, you know exactly that Schwein is a Schimpfwort in German, am I right? Yes, let me hear you. يعني اللي أنا بدي أحكيه إلها that to say swine is like something bad word if you say to somebody a swine. But if you say to him Sie haben Schwein gehabt, يعني أنت حصلت على خنزير، بتكون كلمة حلوة كثير إنه أنت محظوظ. The same word that has two meanings when you use them in two contexts. That's it. Okay.
I think we need to prepare ourselves before we travel to another country.
Yes.
You can go to YouTube and ask and write whatever what I should visit in this country, the culture of this country, what's to do, what's don't. So you can do your homework before you interact with another culture. It's easy, it's become easy, not like in the past you need to travel to somebody who traveled to this country, for example, and ask. Now it's easy to get information.
Now the word becomes so homogeneous. People are now, what can I say, used to hear things that different from their culture and accept them because the tourism, the trading, the cultural exchange, everything has become, even the wars, has become more and more. At the time there was Marco Polo, it was just only one man went to Japan and they made a very big tale about that. But now millions go there, come here, go and so on. Anyhow, بس هيك سؤال سريع يا مامون، امتى راح نتشوف؟ كان مؤتمر هيك بدي انا لانه خلص الوقت بدي اروح على امي بس. قريب يعني؟ يا زلمه مش سامعك، حاط ميوت والله حاط ميوت، والله ماني سامعك.
In December.
In December. طيب يلا يعطيكم العافيه من هذا ديسمبر، نشوفكم السبت الجاي. باي باي. Forgive me, I have to go to my mother. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so that was really interesting. Thank you very much. And now those are some strategies or some tips. Like the first thing is just to be open-minded. Be willing to accept and embrace the other culture and the cultural differences and viewpoints of others. And also, like Mahmoud said, it's nice to develop cultural intelligence. So learn about the different culture, learn about the culture you're going to interact with, but also have in mind that no culture is really static. Culture is also developing, and we should definitely avoid stereotyping and assumptions because individuals within one culture can also be really different. So you can't say he is like this and this and this because he's German. So that is not good.
And you can quantify culture. Like you can't say, okay, with 10 people, that's like when you have 10 people with some common, let's say, formal culture, you can't quantify it.
Right.
So everyone has an individual understanding of culture and design of culture.
Yeah, then also be patient and be tolerant and listen actively. So pay close attention not only to what is being said, but also to the underlying meanings and feelings, like how they have, like the facial expression, the gestures they are making, like pay close attention to this. And also avoid sensitive topics, such as politics, religion, sexuality. If it's not really necessary to talk about these topics, you should not do it, and base your communication on topics and values that are shared.
You can always speak about weather.
Shared across the most culture, yeah, or food, or yeah. Just be aware that of those topics.
Actually, sometimes we have to discuss about the religious things, politics, just to share our points of view, just for knowledge. But we cannot, and we have to accept each other.
After we establish a kind of, let's say, bond, or you establish like you know somebody for a while, like 1 day, 2 days, then you can speak.
Actually, I face that, not an issue. From my experience, actually, I'm working.
But they ask me a lot of. They ask me about the religious things, a lot of things, but just I'm answering just for his knowledge, because even the culture, it's depend of the religious there in Saudi Arabia, but not all the cities, but actually the city that we are working on. But because of that, and just my point, we have to discuss sometime or talking about the religious things, just for knowledge or to respect
That's very true.
the place.
That's very true. But I think there's a difference when someone asks you or you randomly starting, oh, I want to tell you something about Islam.
Yes.
There's a difference. If they ask you, that's fine. But if you start like randomly talking about yes, exactly. That's a problem.
Okay, now we prepared a case study, but I think we don't have a lot of time for that now. So maybe we can just we skip that part because we don't have enough time. And now the final question: how can intercultural communication lead to a peaceful coexistence? So what's your answer, and what are the main things you took from this workshop today?
One thing I am taking with me, and I got not reassured, but ich wurde wieder daran erinnert.
Remembered?
I got remembered by your talk is that intercultural competence is nothing natural. Like you have to learn it and you have to practice it. So yes, so no one is born and being the perfect intercultural communicator. You have to go into situations and maybe face difficult situations, failures. Yeah, you have to learn and be open-minded for learning. Thank you.
Yes, for me, one of takeaways is you need to be patient when dealing with other cultures. If you are sensitive, you will suffer a lot when you travel. You need to understand that there is things that you don't like, you have to deal with them. So you need to be patient and not to judge immediately. Give yourself time before you judge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, Omar, you can talk.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, of course, it's very important to have this chance for the people because, you know, when they have the chance to talk to each other, to visit each other, so they can learn about, you know, everything, because there is a stereotype for each one in this world. For example, as Arabs and Muslims, we have this stereotype in the eyes of Western people, and for sure, the Western people, they have a stereotype in the Arabs' eyes too. So being together and exchange ideas, having common, let's say, projects, having cultural exchange programs, having, let's say, programs to bring the people together so they can understand each other very well and understand the heart of the culture of others. Sometimes we can find many common things between cultures, between different cultures. So let's have this chance and focus on these common things so we can urge people to come together, because they feel that they are the same, they are human beings at the end. There is no reason to criticize them or being afraid of them. So maybe this is, you know, the educational system in each country, it is part of their responsibility to be open, to help the students on different levels, to be open on others. Also the media associations everywhere and the social media on the net can help also by bringing the positive things and have let's say a very positive communication between people from different cultures. So yeah, of course, if we reach these things, we can have peace between each others, and we can coexist with each other everywhere in our own countries and in other countries. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have also something in the chat. Let's see. Be someone who understands all the others and understand the differences. Yeah, very important. And Tarek wrote, in Arabic, we say coexistence depends on understanding, and understanding depends on good communication. It's in the highest level when it is intercultural. Nice, thank you. Yeah, and Osman, you can see.
All right. Okay, thank you. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. So my takeaway from this beautiful discussion and interaction is that there's need. I mean, the basic